Hi!
Hi!
I'm Jen.
I'm Corey.
And we are...
A crossover episode!
We are Corey and Jen Do Stuff.
And deep, dark, and scary.
Welcome to our channel. Welcome back to our channel if you've been with us before. It's so nice to see you again.
We missed you.
We did.
And if you've been keeping track of the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've been over on our other channel, Deep, Dark, and Scary, doing
A cult movie challenge.
horror movie.
Kind of like...
cult movie reviews.
Yeah, movie reviews. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fun. It is definitely adults, mature audience only, though.
So we decided that we're kind of doing stuff, and this is something I've talked about doing for a while. And with the recent news articles about Rupert wanting to get back to playing Ron Weasley, and
There have been talks about
HBO unshelving a Harry Potter reboot.
Well, a TV show
or movie or
whatever.
We don't know. It's
lots of rumors flying around right now. But and I say we very loosely, Corey really wanted to do this. I did not.
This is
just FYI. I did not want to do this.
All me.
Because I suck at it. Just saying.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, I'm horrible. But it is Harry Potter themed. So if you're not interested, head over to one of the other channels. We have plenty of videos for you to watch. If you are interested and want to play along with us, please do leave us comments
down below.
Leave us comments regarding our ideas. And if you have your own ideas, we'd love to hear those as well. But Corey, what did you want to do today?
I want to cast Harry Potter. So, I've seen one person else recast Harry Potter. I don't remember any of their... Well, I remember 2 of the people that they cast. Other than that, I don't remember anyone that they cast. And one of them I didn't even agree with. I'm trying to be a little more like J.K. Rowling in my picks of...
Sticking with
British actors and actresses, with the exception of one.
I tried, but like I said, I already didn't feel good at it, so I was like, I'm just picking who I think would do a good job. I don't kind of care what their background is.
There's nothing wrong with that either, because I looked at a few of her picks and it makes sense.
Well, and we didn't really set any guidelines like that. Like Corey said,
I set a guideline for myself.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to do. But he didn't tell me I had to. We didn't really have any other guidelines.
I don't tell her what to do anyway.
He doesn't. It doesn't work anyway. I don't listen. But we tried to stick to just specific characters, and Corey split up the list because we will have multiple videos for this.
So for the next 8, maybe 9 videos, who knows? But we're going to do each movie and just pick the top 5 or 6 characters from those movies. We know that some characters are in all the movies, so this video is just going to be main characters who are in all of the movies, or a huge chunk of the movies that get a lot of screen time. That way we don't have to do them again. So when next week will be Sorcerer's Stone or Philosopher's Stone if you're from across the pond. So that will cover just people who are introduced in that movie, who are maybe main characters just in that movie. And then once they've been introduced there, we won't do them again in Chamber of Secrets. We'll just focus on people who come in there. We're also not doing any of the kids. So we won't be casting a Harry, we won't be casting a Draco or a Hermione or any of the Weasley clan, with the exception of the parents.
Although I found 2 really good, Fred and George's. Just saying.
And she was kind of upset. She was like, I did all this work. And I'm like, no, just the parents. We said no kids.
Research for this. It's like I'm not even in school anymore. I got more homework now than I did before. Jeez.
So, our number 1...
Our very first one we are going to cast is...
Dumbledore. Jen.
Me first?
Yes.
No, because I feel like my choice this time was kind of obvious. I even believe that Rowling wanted him to play this character at one point. Or at least he had talked about it during an interview when I was researching.
And he was an honorable mention for me. I almost picked him as well.
Sir Ian McKellen. Hopefully I said that right. He is... I think he would have made or will make a killer Dumbledore if they revamp anything.
I mean...
Although Corey's pick is good too.
Gandalf.
But...
Okay, so for my pick for Dumbledore, Jeremy Irons.
Why did you pick Mr. Irons over McKellen?
I'm
curious.
Jeremy Irons is... I honestly don't remember a specific movie, but I remember when I was younger that he was in a lot of movies that I used to watch on HBO, random movies, and I ran across his picture when I was going through lists of older British actors, and I'm like, I thought he had the face. He's a serious actor, and I'm a huge fan of Richard Harris as Dumbledore. Jen likes Michael Gambon, so I wasn't necessarily a fan of Michael Gambon, but I think having one specific, I think Jeremy Irons has the look. I think he could do it justice.
I really like Jeremy Irons, and he was a contender for my list as well. And in particular, one of my all-time favorite movies he's in is The Man in the Iron Mask. And he, takes him under his wing and is kind of fatherly, and Dumbledore is kind of that to Harry. So that's kind of where I was going. I went with McKellen though, because there are some parts, some speeches and just some little quips that Dumbledore has that has a little bit more humor in it. And that's why I went with McKellen, because I really think with his stern face he could say that and it would still be funny. And Jeremy Irons, he's either got that serious acting going on, or he's got a soft side too. I can't think of the movie right off the top of my head, but I know there's a couple of movies he's been in that he's had to have a softer side too. So I'm like, oh. So that was a tough one for me, but yeah, I like both. So you can't go wrong with either one, really.
And number 2, Snape.
You go first this time, because...
Gotta have a Snape.
I'm sorry, but I thought his pick for Snape was odd.
Benedict Cumberbatch. Now...
I love Benedict.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
I can't see him being mean.
Okay. What sold me on Benedict Cumberbatch was he's got the look, and I think he was almost an honorable mention for... I don't even remember who I was going to pick him for, but I had him in a pick for another one, and I'll probably remember later. But I remember back when the Hobbit movies came out and they were showing the behind the scenes for the Desolation of Smaug, and he was in his green screen suit and he was on the ground. He was doing all the mouth movements. He crawled around like he was a dragon, and I just that level of acting just for him to be completely covered up by CG, I was 100% sold on it. And he is a great actor. So, and then you look at like the Sherlock pictures, and I think if they did something with the hair like they did with Rickman, I think that Benedict Cumberbatch would make a great Snape.
All right.
Who was your pick for Snape?
My pick was Mr. Rufus Sewell, or I don't know how to say it. Sewell. Yeah, it's Sewell. I know him from The Holiday. He's kind of a bad guy, jerk face in The Holiday, and that's one of my favorite Christmas movies to watch and New Year's movies. But he was also in A Knight's Tale with a little bit longer hair. And not only the look, but he can like be really like snippy and to the point. And he's got a wide variety of characters that he has played, and I thought he would make a great Snape.
Good pick.
I could see me totally hating him in in that role, just because it's that type of role.
All right.
What's next?
Number 3.
Oh, Lord.
Professor McGonagall.
This one was a little tougher for me. And I was really on the fence. And Corey will tell you, like, I really wanted to switch some picks around because I wasn't so sure. But I think with the right hairdo, her face and her demeanor is perfect, but I picked Tilda Swinton.
That is an awesome pick. I was at first I was like, Brienne of Tarth. But then the picture that I showed, it's the picture of her from The Hours, and I was 100% sold once I saw that picture.
She's very much a character actress. Mm-hmm. And I think she would be totally amazing in any role she played. Because I think there's a couple of different roles in Harry Potter. She could totally play all of them, I'm sure. McGonagall I liked because she's very stern in the beginning and then softens up towards the end. And is more of a motherly type character. Mm-hmm. And even going into the Fantastic Beasts franchise as a younger McGonagall, I totally think she fit right in.
Definitely.
So who was your pick?
So one of my self-imposed stipulations was that I want these people to survive through all of the movies.
Oh, yeah. He told me no old people because they won't make it.
Because I didn't want a Richard Harris situation where...
Sir Ian McKellen is not young.
My pick for McGonagall is not young either.
But she is freaking amazing.
And I picked Julie Andrews. I mean,
she did kind of play a nun at one point, so she could totally do a witch teacher.
I think Julie Andrews would be perfect. I saw a picture of her and I was like, oh, that looks like McGonagall. She could totally be McGonagall. And she still looks young, even though she's, 90?
I don't even want to guess, because that woman is ageless and timeless. She is one of my favorites. Y'all know, if you've been here before, that I am a lover of all things Disney, and that includes the Princess Diaries, and she is in all of them. Sound of Music, love that woman.
So,
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Love her.
Mary Poppins is McGonagall. It's
There you go. All right, who's next?
all right. So this one was going to be kind of a tough one to cast. Hagrid.
Yeah, so a lot of these, like I mentioned a little bit ago, it's character acting. Not everyone's great at it, and then there's people that thrive in it. And yeah, I don't know. This was another tough, well, the whole thing was tough for me. I'm not good at this. I'm picking people based off acting skills, movies I've seen them in, and looks for some of the more not character actors. So for this one, I actually picked Nick Offerman from Parks and Rec.
And when I heard that, I went...
Until I showed him the picture of Nick with a beard.
And I've seen Nick with a beard before in some of his stand-up. He's had a beard, but it wasn't a Hagrid beard. And the picture that we showed is the picture I saw, and I said, yep, he looks like Hagrid.
And not necessarily just looks. I was looking for someone a little bit older because Hagrid is haggard. You know, there's lots of, you know, wrinkles and lines in his forehead and sunken eyes. He's tired. He's a giant dude. I'm sure it takes a lot of energy to walk. Poor guy. And he's a bigger guy, and there was just a lot that went into that one. And Hagrid has a lot of little comic quips here and there, and I thought he'd be really good at that.
I picked Christian Nairn.
And I knew he was gonna, like, before he even told me about who was on the list. Like, I could have probably told you at least 3 of these because... So we just started watching Game of Thrones because I had never seen it, and he's seen it, of course.
I know. Someone who hasn't seen Game of Thrones, right?
I wasn't interested at the time. I was in college. Game of Thrones was the last thing on my mind when I had finals going and things like that, papers to write. Now I have a little bit more time. Not much. We watch 1, maybe 2 episodes every Sunday.
3.
Sometimes if I get into it and I'm like, one more.
I think we did 4 this last Sunday. I think we took a little bit of a break in between. But yeah.
Yeah, so I knew he was going to go with some Game of Thrones.
Hodor. I mean, and he's a bigger guy too, so he's not going to need a fat suit.
Definitely got the build down.
Robbie Coltrane wasn't really that. They had
wasn't hefty.
They had to put some padding on him. I don't think Christian Nairn would require as much padding.
But Hagrid is part giant, and they had to do some camera tricks, right, for the height and stuff, and there wouldn't be as much camera tricks, I don't think, with Christian. But that. I mean, it's a great pick. I'm not saying anything about it, but and he's just from the videos I've seen and a couple of interviews, he's a sweet dude too. I think his personality would fit the character.
And he's a killer DJ, so maybe we get some DJ Hagrid.
I haven't seen any of that yet, but DJ Hagrid.
He already does his he already does his DJ Hodor stuff with his Rave of Thrones. So
then we'll bring in a band to this next Yule Ball. It'll be DJ Hagrid. Awesome.
All right,
Who do we pick next?
Flitwick.
This was the hardest. I don't know many little people at all, let alone actors. So basically I did my research, obviously, and found a couple from movies I had seen in the past and picked one of those.
And
I'll let you tell your pick first, since we're kind of on a roll here with the whole GOT.
so this is the only one that I went with an American actor, but he does a hella British accent.
He does. He's very convincing.
Peter Dinklage. And
I knew it.
I think it's, yeah. Enough said. Peter Dinklage.
Elf. Call me Elf one more time. Just kidding. If you've seen Elf, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I'm sorry. Go watch Elf. It's amazing.
He is really good.
He's just in for a little tiny bit, no pun intended. But
He was really good
funny.
in The Knights of Badassdom too, so
I've never seen that. So for that part, I picked Danny Woodburn, who was in Jingle All the Way, which, if any of you have seen it, is a super hilarious movie with Sinbad and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they're fighting over a doll for their kids. Action figure. I'm sorry.
Right,
An
yeah.
action figure.
It's been a while.
And a lot of the movie was filmed in Minneapolis, Minnesota at the Mall of America. So that's one of the movies I like to watch. But one of my favorite comedic movies he is in, he plays the the district manager, and he just tears his brother apart. Is Employee of the Month with Dax Shepard and what's his face? The other comedian.
Dane Cook?
Yeah.
Dane Cook, yeah.
Jessica Simpson.
Jessica Simpson,
It's-
yeah.
If you haven't seen it,
Total
watch that. It's
90s,
definitely not appropriate for
2000s.
kids, but it is hilarious. And he's Danny Woodburn is in it, and he's a little person, and he is tough. But I thought for Flitwick, he would be amazing to watch.
Swish and flick.
Yes. So that was my pick.
All right, so last on the list, the Weasleys. Arthur and Molly.
Ron and Fred and George and Ginny's mom and dad, if you haven't seen Harry Potter.
And Percy and Bill and Charlie.
yeah, and
Yeah,
Charlie.
there's
That's-
a million Weasleys.
there's a bunch.
They spread like wildfire.
Redheads
Redheads.
everywhere. Yeah, so for the Weasleys,
And she actually picked one of my
Sorry.
honorable mentions, but I didn't want to be too on the nose with mine, so I'll let you go since we're on
the honorable mentions, I didn't know.
No. I just as a like a backup.
Oh.
Her Arthur Weasley was my backup.
So,
Arthur Weasley,
yeah.
or one of them.
For Arthur Weasley, the dad, he works in Muggle studies.
Or Muggle artifacts, or they
yes.
raid and. What is the function of a rubber ducky?
It's pretty funny. He's great. He's totally like straight faced through the whole movie, but he has some great little
Great
funny
comedic lines, yeah.
But I picked Sean Bean, and I thought he would be freaking amazing. And yes, I picked a Game of Thrones character. But let me tell you, when I chose him, I didn't realize he was Ned Stark, because I was thinking of National Treasure and First Night, I think it is, that old 90s like King Arthur's Realm movie he's in. But yes, he plays Ned Stark in Game of Thrones. And he's a great actor. And I think he'd be funny.
And who was your Molly
Oh,
Weasley?
and Molly, I picked Miranda Richardson. So Miranda Richardson is, if you've ever seen, what is it? What was she? Oh, Sleepy Hollow with Johnny Depp and It's not Winona Ryder.
And like half the
No,
cast
I don't
of Harry Potter.
Yeah. Anyway, she plays like the bad. She's the antagonist character. But she was also in The Crying Game and Phantom of the Opera, which is one of my favorite musicals. I thought she would be great if you put dark. She's blonde. I don't know naturally or not. Right now she's a blonde. And most of the characters she's played are blondes. So I thought if you put a dark wig on her, she would be the best Molly Weasley. And you? Who did you pick for these parts?
So this is the reason I didn't go with Sean Bean as my Arthur Weasley, is because I picked Michelle Fairley as my Molly Weasley, and I didn't want a Ned Stark, Catelyn Stark, Weasley team up.
Yeah, so Michelle Fairley plays on Game of Thrones Ned Stark's wife.
Catelyn Stark, yeah.
So he, didn't want to put them two together on another movie, I guess, or a TV show.
But I think Michelle Fairley would be a good... Because
She
Molly is a
great.
no-nonsense woman. She's not really... She's got her funny moments, but she's...
They're not like supposed to be funny, though. Like, she's trying not to be funny.
She's very serious.
But it
stern,
comes off funny.
Matron of the family. My Arthur Weasley, I definitely wanted a comedian. And
which is funny because, like, I was saying to Corey, I think earlier, did I say it on video, that Arthur Weasley is like straight-faced through the entire movie. You don't see him crack a smile hardly at all. But he has funny lines,
he
like
says
the rubber
some
duck
funny
line.
stuff.
It is hilarious, but he is like, exactly what is the function of a rubber duck?
Or, your boys flew that car all the way to Surrey.
Really?
How did it go?
How'd it go? Like, it's funny. It's great.
So I picked Simon Pegg.
I thought he went a little too comedic with Simon Pegg.
But I think
Because-
Simon Pegg can deliver a serious, straight face.
You honestly believe that? Because all I see when I see Simon Pegg are zombies. And the funny drinking. I mean, that's what I see when I see Simon Pegg's face. That's why I have a hard
Hot
time, I
Fuzz,
guess.
he was a very serious person in Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz, you can be a serious person.
No, but he was the serious straight-laced cop, and
Okay.
but
I believe you.
But even in his serious role, like, he was doing stuff that was funny, even though he was trying to be serious. It came off as funny. So I think an Arthur Weasley. I think Simon Pegg would be great as an Arthur Weasley. I'll defend my choices to the death.
No, I was just saying that's the only reason I didn't look at him for that. I wasn't thinking a comedic person.
I wanted someone who I thought could maybe have a little better handle on delivering comedy in more of a straight way. And
I guess I think of him more as a physical comedian. He is all about down that pint and
he does have
ruin
his
something, you know.
He does have his.
It's just funny.
Moments.
He's
like that
funny.
too.
I love him. There's nothing wrong with him at all. Just he wasn't my choice. That's all. Good picks.
Heck yeah, you had some good picks too.
You guys let us know down at the bottom if you agree, disagree, or have other picks.
Tell us if they're junk, if we're...
Yeah, I told you all in the beginning, I'm horrible. Don't...
Tell me how bad my Benedict Cumberbatch is, or that I'm wrong for picking Peter Dinklage. I don't... Yeah. Do it.
Don't be too cruel, please. But, yeah, we deserve it.
If you haven't already, make sure that you...
Like and subscribe, and...
Smash the bell!
And please come back and see us for our next round, which will be...
Harry Potter
and the Philosopher's Stone.
Until then.
Talk to you later. Bye.